Hello everybody, Chad Kloshman here again, and once again, TBI-Guy speaks at webs.com, TBI-Guy speaks on YouTube, on Facebook, and today is actually the 19th anniversary of my accident, minus 1 hour, or minus an hour and a half, something like that. We'll go minus an hour. And today I just want to kind of focus on all the things that helped, let me phrase it, all the things that God helped me through, the accomplishments, and I don't want to say accomplishments in a bragging type of way, but all the things that I was able to do and overcome with God's help to be where I am today. And so I started making a small list of just some of the main things that God helped me get through, because without Him, there's no way I would have been able to get to where I am, considering the point of where I was. And if you all remember, if you've been watching any of these, there was a point in time where they were going to put me in a nursing home when I was still in a coma, because they had little to no hope and the possibilities of what my future may hold. And that being said, I just have a small list that I want to kind of go through, just to just a remembrance of some of the things that I've been through that anybody can get through if they have the right attitude and has God on their side. One of the biggest things that I had gone through that was unfortunately a non-success was the nerve transplant, where they took 15 inches of nerve out of my leg, grafted it up in my arm in hopes of getting my arm back. It was a big surgery, but it didn't work. Shortly, I don't know how much shortly or whatnot, the length of time, but after I had been through so much stuff, I went through a divorce. I started college again. I moved out of my parents' house, because after I moved out of my in-laws' house, when the divorce happened, I moved in with my dad, and then I moved in with my mom, and then I moved out on my own. I was in a cottage, if you all recall from one of my other speeches or talks. And so I was living on my own. I was going to college.
And working part-time.
And I was working part-time. And after a while, I started to revisit the dating scene, which was kind of rough, but went onto a Yahoo Personals page, and that's where I found my awesome wife, the producer of this here video series that I'm in, who is also the background voice to tell me when to shut up or to add something, you know. So after the remarriage, and the great marriage, I should say, as well, I was blessed with a son that we were told we would never have. And about the time he hit the 6th grade, the church needed well, let me back up a little bit here. A couple years prior to that, I think he was in the 4th grade when he started. No, he was younger than that.
First grade.
First grade, he started Conquest, which is the youth group for young boys in the Catholic Church, in our Catholic Church. And so I started being a team leader in that. And when Keegan hit the 6th grade, I was asked to teach his CCD class. And so since I started doing that then, I continued doing that. So I'm still helping out at the church with CCD and Conquest, which will be starting up here within the next month or so. On from there, when Emily had her colon explode.
Rupture.
Wow, what a look. That was awesome. You guys should have seen that. It was priceless.
It was a colon rupture.
Her colon ruptured.
They wouldn't have repaired it if it exploded.
Explosion, rupture, it's one and the same. Anyways.
Nearly died.
She nearly died, and I helped her through that. Obviously, a lot of because of all of my past experiences, I had a little bit of knowledge with,
about being down and out.
And being down and out, that's for sure. As well as that, I jumped back into the engineering field for about 6 years, which was pretty cool. except for the fact that with an associate's degree, I was getting contract jobs that were part-time, or not part-time, but limited short time frames. And then when I had the last engineering job that lasted about 5 years to 6 years, I was just replaced by a computer essentially. So I realized that, well, the engineering field is not really my scene anymore because I didn't want contract jobs. And
you didn't want to get your bachelor's in it.
And I didn't want to get my bachelor's in it because that was a little bit more than what my brain can handle. I'm being, humble here because my brain is, severely disturbed, I guess you might say.
Not disturbed.
Damaged. It's disturbed too. But anyway, okay, she wants to say something. Go ahead.
You have short-term memory problems.
What?
Yeah.
I know.
And some ADD and ADHD that go along with it.
Oh, now you're getting crazy on me now. I'm telling you what.
No.
Whoa.
So that's what you struggle with college.
Okay, anywho, I was kind of working a sales job this whole time at Napa. So after the engineering job went by, I went back full-time into that. And I thought, hey, let's go to college again. Why not? And so I went to college again, got a bachelor's degree. And in order for me to use that bachelor's degree, I actually need to go get a master's degree. And yeah, I'm not doing that. That being said, though,
maybe someday.
I doubt it. But you never know, I guess. And then, of course, the book that Emily and I finally finished last year, that I started way long time ago.
It was published in March.
Published in March.
Or April.
No, it was March because it was the day before my birthday. It was on March 20th. It was published.
Okay.
Anywho, that's quite a nice list of accomplishments, I feel, after going through what I did. Because we all hit that stage after suffering a traumatic brain injury or the loss of a limb or anything along those lines. We hit this wall where we feel like we're nobodies. We can't do anything. I can't do that. I need help or this or that. And while we may need help sometimes, that doesn't mean we can't do it. Sometimes it means swallowing our pride and asking for a little bit of help in order to accomplish the things that we think that we can or that we want to
Meeting
accomplish.
a goal.
Meeting a goal, which is huge with me.
Accepting a challenge.
Accepting a challenge and hitting a goal.
Yeah.
That is one of my biggest drivers. That and the whole thing of, you can't do that. You've only got one arm, or you've only got one eye. Whatever they say, you've got a head injury. I don't like that. And you, anybody out there, just as much as me, we can overcome it.
With God's help.
With God's help. Definitely with God's help. But we might not always be able to rise to the point that we want to. Because trust me, I'm nowhere near the point or at the point to where I want to be, per se. But I am a lot better off than if I would play the poor me card and just gave up on life. You can't give up on life. We got all the help that we need through churches, through family, through God's help, through prayer. I mean, friends. There's just a list that can go on and on. It's just whether or not you have the drive to find it.
Or to do your part.
Or to do your part. That's a big one. Because you can't make it through this stuff by asking for everybody else to do it for you, because it doesn't work that way. You have to be strong. You have to put your best foot forward and do the best you can. That's what I've been doing for the last 19 years. Okay. Not the last 19 years, because 5 months of that 19 years I was in the hospital. But we can say the last 18 years and 9 months, because only 3 months of that I was in a coma the 2 months in hospital after that, I was still trying to do something to get better, to move on. So I do count those, because I did kind of learn to start walking and be able to hold my own weight and remember things as minute as they may have been.
And you didn't struggle with talking.
And I didn't struggle with talking. Well, except for when they took my tracheotomy plug out or whatever it was. They didn't put it in very often, actually, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. Anyways, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I can help somebody out with my talks. I try not to ramble, but you know, the head thing, I kind of do that sometimes, and I apologize. And I repeat myself sometimes. I apologize, but that's just me. You know, it's part of the repercussions of what I went through. Just saying. Anyways, remember, put your best foot forward, and keep on trucking. And praise the Lord. Thank God.
Yes.
Thank God for every day that you wake up, and He gives you another chance to beat the challenge that you're in, or to better yourself in the situation that you're in. Every day. Wake up with that thought process in mind. What can I do today to make myself a little bit better? To make myself a little bit more independent? Because that's what we all want. We all want the independence that we used to have, or whatever the case may be. And we can always do it. Ask for God's help, push yourself as hard as you can, and ask for other people's help around you. That's what they're there for. On that note, you guys have a great week, and I will be back to the virtues next week.